Hi, I'm Lisa, and what you're looking at right now is a bicycle. Pretty weird, right? Curious, I'm sure. However, it'll all make perfect sense to you in just a few minutes. In a matter of moments, you'll discover why this bicycle holds the mind-blowing, unusual secret to you experiencing the guaranteed relief from feeling like a helpless victim of the horrific emotional suffering from abuse in your past. Whether you're a victim of childhood abuse or you've suffered from an abusive relationship in your adult life. If your recent or your childhood past is still affecting you now, then the chances are you're actually a victim of something much worse. You're about to discover how you've inadvertently become the victim of one of the most dangerous thought viruses known to man. And how I managed to reclaim my life, my happiness, my confidence, my family, even my health and prosperity, after being kept as a virtual house prisoner by a pedophile for 5 years. I guarantee you by the end of this video, you'll discover how you can recover from abuse, freeing yourself from the shame, the fear, anger, and emotional trauma that destroys every single aspect of your life, and how you can achieve long-lasting happiness, confidence, feel loved, valued, and even transform your health and your income. Curious? Just keep watching this short presentation and I'll reveal the how and the why of it all. You'll uncover some powerful secrets about abusive relationships simply by watching this presentation today to the very end. Tips like a powerful proven technique to become absolutely and blissfully free from the crippling fear and shame caused by abuse without years of expensive and painful therapy. The 3 most absolute worst mistakes that most people make when trying to recover from emotional abuse and pain. Mistakes that actually make things worse, and I'll show you how you can avoid them. The number 1 secret to lasting love, feeling cherished, wanted, valued, without feeling trapped or stuck or frustrated. And a little known secret for increasing your confidence, your self-esteem, your sense of joy without effort or struggle. And the single most critical thing you must do if you want to avoid the agony of all your relationships turning into tortuously abusive ones. Yes, this really can happen, and I'll show you how and how you can prevent this. Now, I can't tell you how long this presentation will be online or how much longer it will be free to watch. So watch this right now while you still can. Now, you may think you've tried it all or heard it all when it comes to recovering from your past and regaining your confidence, self-esteem, and happiness, and that this is going to be another some positive thinking or let's just talk about it exercise. Yet I guarantee you that you've probably never heard anyone reveal these little-known tips for recovering from the pain and shame of abuse. Why? Because most therapists haven't heard of them. And because to most people they sound so radical and so extreme. However, what I'm about to reveal today is utterly unique and only found on this website in this free presentation. And one tip in particular will totally shock you. It's my absolute favorite and it's near the end, so keep watching. Now remember, I'm about to share with you how you can become free from the fear and shame and anger and guilt from your past experiences with you today. And even more little known tips to recover your confidence, self-worth, and happiness. First, I'm going to share a rather painful story with you. Now you'll see why I was reluctant to even include this story in about a minute. So stay with me. Deal? When people hear my story, they're shocked. And the reason they're so shocked is that not only is my story shocking, but that when they look at me, they see someone who's confident, has a successful business, a happy marriage, a home, and a family life. And I'm appearing on radio and TV and in magazines. Yet I wasn't always an expert on personal development and how to be emotionally free. I wasn't always so happy and confident and able to have such a blissful relationship. In fact, far from it. It was late autumn in 1993 when I first experienced my awakening. It was really cold that autumn, but the air was crisp and fresh and the cool air was making steam on my out-breath. I was bundled up in my Paddington Bear duffel coat, not elegant but necessarily warm. And I was just about to leave the office for the day when my boss called me on the phone to meet me in his office. As soon as I heard his voice, it was like a shot of adrenaline had been pumped into my veins. My anxiety skyrocketed, my mouth went dry, my hands got sweaty. I was breathing in high little gasps. I knew what was coming, and I knew it would hurt. You see, this was a regular thing. About once a week, just at going home time, he would call me into his office for one of those meetings. You know, the ones where someone tells you how rubbish you are, and he would go on and on and on about how I wasn't performing, I wasn't doing well enough. He was really unhappy with my performance and what I was delivering and what I was doing. I couldn't seem to do anything right. Going on and on and on and on, and leaving me feeling about 2 inches high. I tried to defend myself, stand up for myself. I asked him, what did he want me to do differently? Nothing worked. The criticism just kept coming. It was like being blasted with hot sand, eroding away at my already tattered self-esteem and confidence. Listen, I'd been battling with low self-esteem and low confidence for years. But it wasn't my boss's fault. He was really just picking up on how I truly felt about myself deep down inside. And it hadn't happened by accident. In my extraordinary past, I'd spent 5 years being kept by a paedophile as a virtual house prisoner. He started grooming me when I was 12. He first attempted to have sex with me when I was 13. And he succeeded when I was 14. But he didn't force me to do anything. His power was much more subtle than that. He had completely manipulated and seduced my entire psyche. My soul and my mind were enslaved. I lived only to please him. And even though I eventually woke up and realized how badly he was treating me and eventually managed to escape, my emotions, my confidence, my self-worth, my self-esteem were in tatters. I was an emotional wreck, and I didn't even know it. I didn't realize how badly I felt about myself. I didn't realize that other people don't wake up dreading another day in pain. I would lie in bed in the morning, have to force myself to get up, to do anything. I had a hollowness in my heart that never left me. And I didn't realize that other people didn't feel like this. I thought this was normal. I thought this was just how life is. I didn't know any better. And it was pretty bleak. And frankly, at that moment, I was in the lowest point in my life, or so I thought. But it actually led me to where I am today, to feeling light-hearted, confident, filled with joy and happiness, and ready to face the world and take on new challenges, something I bet you want to experience too. However, even though I knew I was ready for a change, I craved it, I needed one more thing to really push me over the edge, to get me to move from feeling so worthless, being treated like a doormat in all areas of my life, to being confident, assertive, to be able to ask for and get what I knew I really deserved. Now that evening, after yet another sandblasting from my boss, I decided to go for a bike ride. Even though it was cold and it was dark and I was exhausted, it was kind of almost like a self-punishment. I wanted the ride to hurt. Deep down, I thought that's what I deserved. And then it happened. I was riding fast, my legs and lungs burning. But honestly, the physical pain was welcome distraction from the emotional pain I was in. Have you ever imagined or been in that much emotional pain? I felt like I was the only person on earth who felt like I did, alone and sad and without a friend or support to turn to. It was there, then as I was riding, that I allowed the thought to pass through my mind. What if I never came back from this ride? The moment I allowed myself to think that, I must have set something up in the universe, a kind of ripple of an idea that I'd sent out. And I was coming up to a roundabout, and although I was checking the traffic, to my right, something that caught my attention from the corner of my eye. From the left, it was a white Rover 316, and it was coming up to the junction fast. Even though it was my right of way, I could see the driver wasn't looking at me. He wasn't looking at all. And in that moment, I made a split-second decision. I could try and brake, but I knew how fast I was going. I knew how good my brakes were. So instead, I sped up. I pushed down hard and fast, my legs burning, my lungs exploding. And I almost made it. I almost cleared in front of the bonnet of his car. And as I flew past, I saw every detail of his radiator grille, the front lights. I even caught a glimpse of his shocked white face. And he hit me. He just clipped the back wheel of my bike, throwing me high in the air, so I landed hard on the road. first thought as I lay there with my body twisted in agony shocked me. And it was this: thank goodness I don't have to go back into work tomorrow. The next astonishing thought that came in just before I blacked out was a revelation. And then it got really weird. I suddenly was looking down on my body from the clock tower that was to the side of the roundabout. I could see my body twisted in a funny angle. I could see an ambulance men and people working on me. And as I looked down, I had this thought, oh my goodness, that's going to really hurt when she comes round. It was as if that body wasn't mine. And then I felt this presence to my side. I knew I was being offered a choice. I could either go back into my body and live my life, or I could go with this presence to my side. There was no pressure. There was nobody forcing me to do anything. It was just a choice. And in that moment, I decided at that very moment to make a change that would affect my life forever. I made a decision that I will never, ever think or feel this way again. I will solve this problem of how to make life work, or I will die trying. I'll work out how to live a happy life, how to be confident, how to love myself again, come hell or high water. I promised myself I'd do whatever it takes, no matter what, to find out how to love myself again. And thanks to that turning point, I uncovered the secret. It's one that works for just about anyone, and it works every time. Today, I'm going to share that secret with you and save you the hassles and years of effort it took me to hone this system into perfection. So keep watching. Keep in mind that even though today I've been very successful helping folks like you recover from abuse, I'm exactly like you are in so many ways. I just happened to figure out a really simple step-by-step formula for the average person like you or me to see massive results when it comes to recovering from abuse. This is a system that allows people just like us, real everyday men and women, to totally, completely, and permanently recover from past emotional abuse and trauma. To start living a life free from the horrific emotional suffering, from the emotional trauma caused by past abuse. To achieve and experience total freedom from flashbacks, low self-esteem, panic attacks, and anxiety that have become your own living hell when you suffered at the hands of an abuser. To achieve and experience more happiness, joy, and to feel light again every waking hour. Enjoy laughing frequently, telling jokes, having a bubbly, light voice, spontaneity, being optimistic, fearlessness, and feelings of weightlessness. Enjoy extreme and total confidence and the ability to overcome any obstacle that until now may have been standing in your way. The ultimate success when it comes to creating a happy relationship with the kind of man that will, or woman, that will treat you the way you deserve. And finally go for the job or promotion you want without fear of failure or success, because I know some people fear success, so that you can earn the financial wealth you desire and gain the respect you deserve. Enjoy the freedom and relief from pain of your past. This isn't just the blueprint I teach thousands of other folks just like you. It's the same exact system that I used myself to transform myself from a broken, quivering wreck to the joyous soul that you see before you. And now you can experience this same success for yourself using this proven blueprint for faster and more effective results when it comes to recovering from abuse. And I'll share all of the specifics with you in just a moment. But first, I feel I must warn you about the real problem you face today. This is a real-life conspiracy, a villain in a black hat, if you will. And it's the sole reason behind why you struggle to recover from emotional pain or abuse. And this is why it's not your fault that you haven't been able to recover from your past abuse, although after you see this, you'll know it's your responsibility to take action. The real problem is the proven fact that you've been lied to for years, and these lies are keeping you from ever fully recovering from abuse and experiencing the happiness you desire and deserve. Now, you may have heard or perhaps even believed at one point that you have to spend years in painful, expensive therapy or counseling, reliving every agonizing moment of your past in order to start to feel better about yourself. Yet, That's nowhere near the truth. Here's one of those lies that angered me the most. And it's this, that you'll never recover. The best you can hope for is that you'll just have to learn to live with the pain. What a load of nonsense. Please, if you've ever believed this, stop right now, and I'll explain why in a moment. When you find out about how this lie got started, you'll be really horrified too, and that's okay. I'll be revealing the truth in a moment. Just know this. Countless other smart men and women have fallen victim to this rather clever lie. Yet you have to lay it aside right now. If you don't, you'll spend your life in emotional pain, shame, anger, fear, and worse. You'll end up spending thousands of pounds or dollars and hours of therapy where you'll go over and over and over what happened, but still never change how you feel about it. And you may even just give up on ever living a normal or happy life, spending the rest of your life in pain, fear, shame, and anger. And listen, it gets worse. All those negative emotions can ruin your health too. Medical scientific research has proven that emotions like hurt, depression, anger, and shame actually suppress your immune system. They drain your energy and have even been linked to heart attacks, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and even cancer. I think we can both agree that this is not in your best interests, and besides, I desire more for you. We both want more for you than this, right? Of course, so keep watching. Now you know the reason that your recovery from abuse is not entirely your fault. Blaming yourself needs to stop. Deal? Let's replace that blame with some action-based responsibility. If you really want to blame something for your struggles with your emotions, then do this. Blame the media. Tabloids, those cheap glossy magazines with gossip stories. They love to sensationalize and exploit the plight of victims. After all, a happy ending doesn't sell papers and magazines, doesn't get viewers to those talk shows on TV, does it? After all, you've been bombarded for years with these false, misleading lies from these crooks. And let's have a look at the other real villain. Therapists and counselors, well-meaning though they may be, these guys are actually counting on you suffering and your confusion to earn a profit. They have a vested interest in you not recovering. After all, people who recover stop coming to see them, and that doesn't make them any money. Even Sigmund Freud, the grandfather of psychotherapy, was a prime culprit in this conspiracy to keep you in your emotional pain. He was in direct competition with a new school using techniques based on those that I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. And because his school wasn't doing so well, Freud came up with his talking cure, which is really easy to teach and do as a therapist. Freud described it by saying this: "This is not a cure for the poor. This is a cure for the rich," which is great marketing and great for business, but terrible for you. All that misinformation spread by the media and the therapy industry is enough to confuse the smartest person alive, and it confused me for years. The truth is, it is totally and completely possible to release and remove all emotional pain from your past. Numerous recent studies done on neuroplasticity reveal you can change your whole life. With the right techniques that enable you to rewire your neurology, they actually remove emotional pain from the past, break those neurological connections, which are the ones causing the pain, and then allow new, positive, and empowering ones to form. And I'll show you exactly what that technique is in just a minute. The truth is that you should never, ever believe or even think for a moment that you can't recover fully, completely, and totally. Never let them cause you to believe that you're doomed to stay as you are. Why? Because when you think like this, you immediately suppress your ability to change or thrive in every area of your life. Your health will suffer. Holding on to painful emotions has long been associated with suppressed immune system, and even linked to more serious illnesses like fibromyalgia, raised blood pressure, diabetes, chronic fatigue, and even that big C I mentioned earlier. But not only that, it also affects your success, your prosperity, your inner strength, your emotional resilience, which is what you need to succeed in your career and in your life. Without it, you just won't succeed as easily. And if you do, it'll be much more work than it needs to be. It affects your career and work and whether or not you get a job or promotion. Confident, happy people are more successful. They exude an inner joy that makes others just want to be around them. And that's why they get the job, get the promotion, get the sale, get the deal, get the girl, get the guy. If you don't release your past, you live with it every day of your life. You'll wake up with the pain, the shame, the fear, the anger, that weight hanging in your chest. And whether or not you feel it consciously, this one may surprise you. Even if you don't feel it consciously, you can certainly see and experience its effects. People treat you the way you expect them to, based on your unconscious programming, which means you get treated not how you deserve or even how you think you deserve to be, but how you believe unconsciously that you deserve to be treated. Your past abuse probably had you believe unconsciously that you were bad or evil or wrong or deserved to be punished or just not as good as the other person. That you didn't deserve happiness or as much happiness or joy as other people. Now remember, it's not what you consciously, logically know. It's what you unconsciously believe and feel. And here's the trick to it. How do you know if your unconscious programming is affecting your life? Do you do all the right things and still get treated badly? Do you get missed for promotions of jobs? Do others treat you badly and you just don't know why? Here are some other signs that your past emotional pain is affecting you now. Do you get stuck in an unpleasant emotion or mood, such as depression, anger, rage, grief, jealousy, fear, hurt, anxiety, loneliness, emptiness, intimidation, or any other? Do you have difficulty even feeling your emotions? Do you have challenges with eating disorders, things like overeating, bulimia, anorexia, or just weight issues? Are you overattached or even addicted to smoking, drinking, sex, relationships, money, and so on? Is it difficult for you to ask for what you want? Is your attention usually on pleasing others? Do you find it hard to forgive? Do you feel things too deeply, almost oversensitive to even trivial things? Do you feel unsafe even around people who are no threat? Anxiety attacks or phobias? Do you blame yourself for other people's mistakes and their feelings? Do you judge yourself for making mistakes? Is it difficult for you to forgive yourself? Do you feel overly guilty? Is it incredibly important to you that others think well of you? Do you have any physical illnesses that you suspect could be related to stress or an unexpressed emotion? Are you over or underachieving? Do you experience inner conflict? And do you have obsessive thoughts about something? You know those things where you replay conversations or thoughts or experiences over and over again in your mind? Now, I know that was a long list, and even if one or two rang true for you, then this is a sign that your events from your past are affecting you now. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what the event was. It matters that it's affecting you. But don't worry. Things don't have to be that way, and I'll show you how you can change them in just a moment. But first, there's another lie. And this one is the granddaddy of all emotional recovery and therapy lies. And it's this: the let's talk about it lie. Just talking about your problems and what happened will solve them and heal them. No, it won't. The crucial truth is that you should never, ever rely solely upon simply talking about your problem alone. Why? Traditional talking cures and therapies that rely on you simply going over and over and over about your problem actually cause you to relive the agony over and over again. And what this does is it actually reinforces it in your neurology. Like a well-trodden path, those thoughts become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until this makes the problem worse and more real and more painful. You have more flashbacks, more nightmares, more painful emotions. Now, if you fall for the idea that talking about it alone will solve your problems, you'll end up with more and bigger emotional problems. Talking about your problems to heal them is like talking about what's wrong with a car and hoping this will fix it. Remember, as I'm about to show you, it is possible to heal. So let's get started with that right now. Ready? Now that you're aware of the lies and how they've crippled your ability to recover and lead a normal, happy life after abuse for years, it's time to dig in and rise above these lies using the specific tips I have for you today. Now, these are the exact same tips and tactics that countless thousands of abuse survivors have used to see massive success in achieving freedom from crippling emotions such as shame, fear, anger, caused by abuse or any past painful experience, to achieve the happiness and success that you desire and deserve. Now, I have to tell you, my emotional resilience process, higher self therapy tip, this is a real life changer and it's my personal favorite. And it's been responsible for most of my success. Just remember, I'll be sharing that most important life-changing tip last, how to use higher self therapy to delete painful emotions. So keep watching till the end. First, you absolutely must know about the one mind trick myth you have to avoid if you want to recover your confidence and happiness. And it will surprise you. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. I want you to stop saying positive affirmations and trying to think positively. Most people believe this is a good thing. However, it actually isn't true. It's only a good thing to do if you're already in a positive mindset, if you're already experiencing joy and happiness and just want more of it. But here's what will happen if you neglect to avoid this mindset myth. It can actually stop any change you might have of making any really full and lasting recovery. It actually creates confusion, which is the worst state of mind to be in when you're trying to reclaim your life. Here's what will happen if you don't stop trying to think positively. It creates cognitive dissonance. You're trying to think one thing, those positive affirmations, while your true feelings are entirely different, hurt, angry, and afraid. Remember, feelings never lie. And those feelings are what you need to use as your inner driver to get you out of the situation, to support you to make the change. They're what lets you know something isn't right. And here's what you do instead. Allow yourself to feel the truth of your situation. Simply allow yourself to feel whatever it is you really do feel, and know that it's totally okay and safe to do that. Now, you don't have to do this forever, just until you've released those emotions and made the inner changes, so don't worry. Successful women and men in happy relationships do this instead. They give themselves permission to feel whatever it is they feel. Doing this will allow you to be more present. It will prevent your emotions from becoming suppressed and you numbing out. When you numb out, you stop yourself feeling the good emotions as well, like love and joy, as well as those painful ones. It allows you to be honest with yourself about your situation, which leads you to finding ways to make the necessary changes. All power and progress starts with the truth. So give yourself permission to feel your truth. Just imagine what your life will look like when you take this action. Start today. You'll have supreme confidence in your ability to handle any situation, because most emotional pain is actually the fear of feeling that emotion. When you discover how strong you really are, once you tap into the courage to feel your truth, no one else can ever hurt you again. And that's not all. You'll also find that when you feel those feelings, they aren't nearly so painful as you imagined. Yes, really. And if that wasn't reason enough, check this out. You'll also discover that underneath those feelings that seem so painful, you'll actually find a secret message that will awaken your inner power. It's amazing that you can experience all these benefits just by allowing yourself to feel rather than lying to yourself and trying to affirm what simply isn't true. The benefits of this simple tip continue to astound me and the thousands I've given it to. Of course, ultimately what you want to do is release your painful emotions. More of that in a moment. For now, just feel what you feel. You have full permission. Now, here are two more things I also want you to stop doing right now. The next thing I have to warn you to do is to avoid going into your story. Yes, really. Here's why. Your story is the explanation of what happened, but it can actually keep you stuck. Understanding and knowing what happened can be a step forward, but it's only one. You need the whole journey in order for you to completely recover from abuse. Understanding your past doesn't change it, nor does it change your present. And for some, it can even become a crutch or a reason that stops them living life to the full. Understanding your story is like taking your car to a garage because it's not going, and the mechanic tells you exactly what's wrong with it and why it doesn't work. Now, this is useful, but it does not repair the car. And if you stop there, it becomes an excuse. I can't because. And I don't want that for you. I want you to get the repairs to your neurology that you need so you can live life to the fullest again. In a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how you can repair your life and recover from abuse. Now, here's the next thing I want you to stop doing, and this may really surprise you. I want you to stop expressing your emotions over and over and over again. Yes, you heard me right. Let me explain. Many people think that simply crying and crying and crying and expressing their emotions will release them. And it doesn't. It can actually make it worse. Here's how it works. Thoughts and emotion create a pathway in your neurology. Every time you think and feel that thought, you strengthen the pathway. So rather than making things better, it could actually be making things worse. Endlessly, repetitively going over your story, diving into the same emotions, crying and crying about them doesn't solve the problems or release the emotions. Even though that's actually exactly what many therapies would have you believe. Now, in a moment, I'm going to explain exactly what you need to do instead to reclaim your life, to restore your self-esteem, release your emotions, and recover from abuse. Now, how would you like to actually enjoy developing your inner strength, building your self-confidence and self-worth, and start feeling happy every day? Many people believe you have to drag yourself through the process of years of painful and expensive therapy, but I would rather see you free from your past pain and trauma. Now, here's the secret. I'm going to ask you to do this very simple but powerful exercise. I want you to list 3 to 5 people who, when you're around them, you feel confident, powerful, successful, and happy. These are the people who are your cheerleaders. They believe in you, even when you don't fully believe in yourself. Now, note this. They don't just flatter and placate you. They do tell it like it is, but in a loving and non-judgmental way. Now, once you've got that list of those people, make a commitment to spend some time with them once a week, even if it's just on the phone. Next, I want you to write a list of all the types of physical exercise that you love. Now, it might be walking, swimming, yoga, tai chi, cycling, going to the gym, exercise classes. Any is fine. But they must be an exercise you love doing. And start doing any one of them 2 to 3 times a week, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. Exercise does all kinds of great things for your self-confidence, your self-esteem. Not only does it release positive hormones and chemicals in the brain, it does another lesser-known thing. It increases your inner strength, particularly exercises like Tai Chi or yoga, but others are still good too. Here's your last exercise. Finally, I want you to write a list of all the things that you know you're good at and that you enjoy. And when you do some of them, they give you a sense of achievement, satisfaction, accomplishment, joy, fulfillment, any other positive and empowering emotion. So any small or big thing that you know you're good at, cooking, handcrafts, knitting, embroidery, baking, art, photography, anything, IT, fixing a computer, whatever it is, absolutely anything you love that makes you feel good will do. And here's why. Being in an abusive relationship erodes your self-esteem and self-confidence daily till there's nothing left. And it's easy to think you can't do anything right, which is why I've given you these 3 things. Get with the people who love and support you. Take any exercise you enjoy and do things that empower you. Imagine this. Imagine feeling like you're surrounded by people who love and support you. Not only that, you'll also restore your inner strength through exercise you love. Not to mention improved self-worth from a sense of achievement when you do the things you love and know you're good at. Simply deciding today that you can enjoy your friends, recover your inner strength, and feel achievement and self-worth, you've just opened up your whole world. This is one of the secret weapons to recovering from abuse. Just learning to enjoy the process. And you can. And it gets even better. Here comes my really big, massive, crucial, life-altering tip. just be warned, without applying this tip to your recovery process, you can virtually forget about succeeding. This is the most important tip of all. This is the tip that will allow you to live a life free from shame and fear and other painful emotions caused by abuse. As you near effortlessly move towards becoming happy, confident, and successful in your life and relationships and living the life you desire, get this. It's the tactic behind your all success in abuse and emotional recovery, because it allows you to be totally free from your past, including your present trigger situations. Once you're free of them forever, you can have the sense of self-esteem you desire and know you deserve. You see, most people just don't know that they can actually release all your emotions in one single session. Most people don't even know you can release your emotions at all, full stop. And that's because they've been brainwashed to believe it's not possible. But not only is it possible, it's easy when you know how. So, ready to get started? Think of it this way. Your emotions run in the background like a virus on your PC, that every time you hit a certain key, which is your trigger situation, that activates the virus, and you feel bad. So every time you hit that key, maybe the PC shuts down, and emotions work in just the same way. Every time you experience that trigger situation, you feel the emotion. And so what most people do is they try and avoid the triggers. But that just means you end up with a whole bunch of situations you have to avoid. Things you can't do, places you can't go to, people you can't be around, jobs you can't get. But what if there was another way? Just imagine what your life will feel like when you master my process for releasing your emotions. Your brain is actually similar to a computer, and it has programs that run in the back of your mind. And they either get you the results that you want, feeling good, creating success, or they give you the results you do not want. And these are the faulty programs that need to be removed. Now, my system actually removes the faulty programs. Here's how it works. All problems, emotions, and blocks and limitations are caused by boundaries in the nervous system. This is how your nervous system should look. That's right, completely blank. It should have no boundaries in it, so information can flow freely through and around your nervous system. That's right, no boundaries. And this is what it looks like when you have boundaries in your nervous system. So information tries to come in, hits a boundary, and when it comes out, it's blocked or distorted or damaged in some way. It gets skewed. And when information gets blocked like that, that's what you feel as emotional pain. So here's what we do instead. We activate the neural networks and we get inside the problem and we blow it out from within. We blow the boundaries and the problem disappears. The boundaries are destroyed. The nervous system restores to its normal, natural, boundary-free state. That's right. The way to release your emotions is to activate the neural networks and blow out the problem. And the result? Your emotions are gone. They're gone. It's like rebooting your mind so it's clear, ready to start afresh. But even more than that, the system also reinstalls healthy programming so you feel great. Now, what higher self therapy does is it actually deletes the programming, blows the boundaries, and causes the problem to disappear, to be clear from your neurology. Imagine this. Here you are going about your day in absolute joy and flow. Nothing phases you. You're in a job you dream of. You're in a relationship with someone who loves you and treats you right. You feel confident in a way that other people marvel at. See the shock and surprise in the eyes of your friends and families and colleagues as you go from struggling with your self-esteem to mastering your life. Not only that, you'll also have better health, a better job, because you know the link between net worth and self-worth, right? And all of this is happening in your life simply because you know the formula to releasing, deleting, and removing your emotional pain and all your triggers. It's the little-known success strategy enjoyed by the elite and successful who have truly mastered self-esteem and recovered from their past. Now it's your turn. Wow, that was a lot of information, and you may be feeling a tad overwhelmed at this point, and that's perfectly okay. Basically what it means is you have two choices on where you go from here. Choice number one, you take all the information I just gave you and you try and go it alone. And who knows, you may get lucky and one day see some progress. It'll take longer, of course, and you'll probably make a lot of painful mistakes on the way, but you can choose this. With enough willpower to work your way through the pain, you'll eventually get there. Even Freud said with enough willpower, a person can change in only about 900 hours of trying. Most people don't have that level of willpower, and let's face it, who wants to keep feeling a whole load of emotional pain anyway? Or you could take choice number 2. This is the savvy choice. The choice most everyone takes who's ready to recover from abuse. It's the quickest, the easiest, the simplest, most effective way to recover your life, your happiness, your self-esteem that you deserve, and be completely free from your emotions and your pain from the past. Now, there's no reason for you to try this on your own. I've already done the work for you. One that's been tried and tested, that's responsible for hundreds of women and men of all ages finally becoming free from their painful emotions. There's no need to scratch your head frustrated, guessing your way to halfway there, because I've already created the ideal system for you. And here's what the vast majority decide to do. It's called Recover from Abuse. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Turner, the creator of the Recover from Abuse program. The Recover from Abuse program is the first effective system created that enables you to become happy and confident and successful in life and relationships. Live free from shame and fear caused by abuse without years of expensive and painful therapy. This radically simple yet effective emotional release system will work for you even if you're still in an abusive relationship. You're already escaped from an abusive relationship. You've experienced childhood abuse. You've had lots of bad relationships. Even if you think you're not ready. Even if you don't like talking about your problems, especially if you don't like talking about your problems. Even if you've had a very traumatic past or you don't think your problems are even that bad. If you've had past personal development failures, or you've tried other techniques like EFT, NLP, Reiki, theta healing, and stuff like that. Even if you haven't had severe abuse, but your life just isn't working, or you have a hopeless feeling in your bones, or even if you feel as if you've tried absolutely everything. Now, before I tell you what the Recover from Abuse program is, I need to tell you what it's not, so there's no false expectations. This is not a sit around and just talk about your problems program. It's not a magic pill or a magic wand where you just sit there and someone waves a stick over you and suddenly your problem's gone, or promises you something silly or unrealistic. It's not yet another magic abundance secret or some other thrown together wishy-washy spiritual theory. It's not a program where you get to go over and over and over and over your story again and again and again. And it's not one of those programs where they wallow in self-pity, playing poor me and milking it for all the attention it gets them. You know the people I'm talking about. It's definitely not a fluffy, superficial system of just thinking happy thoughts, staying positive, and visualizing your ideal self and hoping for the best. Don't you think you've been lied to enough? Isn't it time you start using what's proven to work? Rather, Recover from Abuse is the direct result of over 20 years of research analyzing the most successful and effective techniques for releasing emotions ever to find what really works. This passionate research revealed specific patterns that truly successful people who thrive after abuse do, that's virtually hidden from the public. As well as examining the real reasons behind emotional recovery failures, so I could create a clever way for you to avoid those negative patterns. I uncovered those hidden patterns and unique and sometimes odd tactics they use to be and stay successful in the world of emotional recovery. I discovered what really, truly works. And starting right now, you'll have the tools to replicate their success too. The success patterns I studied and successfully duplicated give you the freedom to easily create a life that you love, restore your self-esteem and self-worth and your net worth, reclaim your life, your happiness, and even improve your health, to create a loving, supportive, kind relationship that you absolutely deserve, enjoying being free from fear, upset, anger, and hurt, and all of this while you quickly achieve forgiveness faster than ever before possible. Now, before we go any further, I need to be completely clear with you. If you're looking for yet another magic pill trick, if you're one of those people who just wants to bitch about how horrible their partner or their ex is, or you're the type who like to play the poor me card for all the attention and special privileges it gets them, or if you're looking for a victim support group where the onus is on victim and they really do want to stay and be the victim, Or if you want some other fad self-improvement method or some other plan that you already know will never work for you, you know what I mean. And let's just be honest, these are not solutions. They're actually train wrecks waiting to happen. You know they don't work. And if that's you, and I'm trusting it's not, then you just need to leave the website right now. This is not some nonsense fluffy miracle cure for emotional recovery. This is a realistic proven formula that works. And what I've done is make recover from abuse as easy as humanly possible. So while releasing emotional pain isn't easy, nothing worthwhile is, it makes it more of a snap. So if you're wanting the real answer to releasing your emotions, here's what you can and should expect recover from abuse to deliver. So if you really want to enjoy a happy, joy-filled life, put an end to painful emotions that certain situations can trigger, be free from being defined by your past, end the shame and suffering, release your emotions so you can become free of that heavy feeling at the very core of your being, destroy limiting beliefs easily in one step so you're no longer plagued by feelings of worthlessness and low self-esteem. Finally, live a life of happiness, confidence, success, and freedom. Then guess what? Recover from abuse isn't an answer for you. It's the only answer for you. Here's what Kim says. Following the abuse mentally, physically, and sexually from my ex-boyfriend when I was 18, I was very emotional because the experience was so raw. Years on, it felt fresh and I had memories and flashbacks. I became nervous, lacking in confidence. As the years progressed, my confidence got worse and worse. Now I realize that yes, the memories are there, but the abuse is no longer a problem. Suddenly I'm free. It was like having heavy chains cut from me. It's the most amazing realization that I didn't need to get over being abused. Freedom. Bingo. Sophie says, one morning I woke up and I thought, I've done more progress with myself in the last 5 months than in the last 5 years. Thank you, Lisa, for taking me where I could not have dreamed to go. Thank you for making me dare to dream it and for guiding me there. Let's take a look at what's included in your membership of the Recover from Abuse program. First of all, you get the Recover from Abuse Quick Start Guide and Workbook, the Higher Self Therapy Workbook, and on page 27 you'll discover the principles of my proven emotional release process, Higher Self Therapy. You'll also get the Higher Self Therapy release process on audio, so in as little as 20 minutes you can release all of your emotional pain. And that includes the Ho'oponopono process, which is also known as the forgiveness technique. You also get the Integrity of Energy on DVD. This is 4 hours of a live recording where you'll get all the breakdown of exactly how this works, and you'll experience and see a full release of all of your emotions using my proven emotional release process, Higher Self Therapy. This is where you release all those painful emotions for good. It includes the exact strategy that will help you get in touch with those emotions, which is so important to releasing them. This is the only way to delete painful emotions from your past permanently without suppressing them, crying for days or weeks, or even spending years wallowing in your past painful experiences. This really is the most powerful emotional release technique on the planet. It removes your inner pain for good. You won't just feel a bit better or knowing you're working through them or understand them. Your negative emotions, your pain, trauma, they'll be gone, gone, gone. And you also get 2 valuable abuse survival and relationship success teleseminar masterclasses where you discover things like the signs your relationship is abusive, and note these are not usually that obvious at all. The hidden undercurrent that's really guiding your relationship, and how to know if you're headed for rocky ground or whether it's actually going to get better. The reasons why you keep having the same bad relationship with different people and how you can change that. The 3 deadly words that show you're lying to yourself and mean you'll never recover or escape. I'll tell you what these are gently and with love and compassion, and what to replace them with so that you really can move forward. Now, I know that this journey isn't an easy one and you'll probably want some support, so we make sure you get all the support you need. You get group support in your own dedicated private online forum where you feel welcome and safe and confident knowing that this space is carefully monitored by our highly trained coaches. Now, you've probably noticed by now that Recover from Abuse is by far the easiest and most effective emotional recovery program available anywhere today. In fact, most users find that after just a single use of the 20-minute Higher Self Therapy release process, they feel lighter, happier, emotionally stronger, they sleep better, and best of all, others start noticing too. Your friends and family will comment on how relaxed and happy and at peace you seem. People will start to treat you better, as it allows you the fastest and most effective way to release painful emotions from your past. And it goes without saying that this makes your life much easier. In fact, higher self-therapy users report that they feel totally different, lighter, freer, happier in less than 30 days. And that gives you the total freedom to be yourself and even have a crazy yellow mug with a funny wig on it and feel totally comfortable in your own skin in any situation, just like you should and hopefully did feel like when you were a kid. Now, you may believe that a system that can do all of that and much more will cost a pretty penny. And in all honesty, it really should. Considering that Recover from Abuse has been changing the happiness and emotional destiny of hundreds of people, right? Still, I'll cover the cost and the discount you'll get today by ordering from this page with you in just a moment. First, I want to share with you a few unique benefits that this one-of-a-kind system will deliver. You'll learn the secret of avoiding attracting an abuser ever again. And this alone is worth the investment in Recover from Abuse. And by the way, by abuser, this also could mean a bullying boss. You'll discover how to protect yourself from those bullies in the second of our teleseminar masterclasses. This will ensure you never again get into an abusive relationship again with anyone. You'll discover the 9 relationship lies you absolutely must avoid at all costs in order to ensure that all of your current and future relationships never become abusive again. You'll also discover some clever and fun ways to enjoy a more loving and intimate, supportive relationship that you desire than you ever thought imaginable. Plus, I'll be revealing exactly how you can achieve happiness right now by releasing the pain from the past. And because higher self-therapy works on a subtle, gentle, yet powerful way on your subconscious mind, you'll experience all of these mindset shifts with making it feel as if you're naturally transforming without fighting an uphill battle. Now, the price of just the Recover from Abuse program sold by itself is £300, but yet you're not receiving Recover from Abuse today. Just for watching the entire presentation today, I'd like to give you 7 value-added bonuses for free of charge, just to help you achieve the happiness, love, self-worth, and the relationship you desire even faster. Here's your first free gift, the Emotional Resilience Program. This is a 90-minute audio workbook and transcript. And in it, you'll discover the signs you've unresolved emotions from the past, why affirmations don't work and what does, how to use your emotions to harness success, and a simple 4-step plan to bounce back from emotional trauma. And here's your second free gift, how to find your life's purpose, a proven process to pinpoint your life's purpose. Discover your secret power of your internal driver and how to align with it so you become unstoppable. And discover the key to making everything in your life easy. And here's your third free gift, the secrets of karma. How to resolve and release past karma, the law of cause and effect. How to no longer be a victim to what you think is just your karma. You can discover your karmic blueprint and your karmic purpose, karmic contracts, and how to rewrite them. Here's your fourth free gift, past lives. Discover who you were and how it's affecting you today. And at last, a logical, rational explanation of past life phenomena. The why, if, and how you're being affected by a past life and regression technique. Here's your fifth free gift, how to find and keep your soulmate. So you'll discover in this what or who is your twin flame, how to find your soulmate, or even how to turn your current relationship into a soulmate relationship. The one cause of all relationship failures and the 3 things you need to do to keep your love alive forever. Here's your sixth free gift. What is love really? Understand the true meaning of love, how to recognize unhealthy relationships and create healthier ones. What are the identifiers of true love and unhealthy attachments, and why love hurts and how to love without that pain. And here's your 7th free gift, the psychic diet. The emotional and spiritual reason that people become overweight, how to achieve your ideal weight without pain and struggle, and how to eat the foods you love. The unknown link between food and consciousness, and how to transmute food into energy. How to increase your energy and eat what you want. Now, you can see why Recover from Abuse is valued at £300. Even without all those bonuses, it's a steal at that price. And if you bought the bonuses along with Recover from Abuse, it would cost you £629. However, just for watching the presentation today, I have a much better deal coming your way. So keep watching because it won't last much longer. Of course, you could choose to continue down the path you're on right now. And you know what? Statistics show you can end up spending hundreds of times the amount you'd invest today in recover from abuse in lost opportunities. Studies show that happier people are more successful and healthier, and they make more money than people who are suffering from emotional pain. Why? Because money and success loves happiness. The happier you are, the better everything in your life gets. It's like a positive feedback loop. Now, or perhaps the cost of being alone and not being in a joyful, loving, supportive relationship. You know, the cost of being miserable is huge, and the cost of being happy is priceless, right? Now, that's not what I desire for you. So let's make this an easy decision for you today, okay? I want to tell you exactly why I decided to offer a version of Recover from Abuse at this incredible discount today. Not to sound corny, but I have a dream, and it's really a cause, and I'd love for you to be a part of it, along with the many others who desire. Recover from abuse. Live free from shame and fear caused by abuse. Become happy, confident, successful in life, relationships, and feel loved and sexy again. And be free from their past and free from the myth that recovery isn't possible. And with this take action now mentality, you can actually be part of a cause that's helping thousands. How? Recently, I was inspired to start a cause that would help thousands of women and men to be free from the emotional pain of their past trauma. And that means that they will be setting an example of true life happiness for others, especially their kids. Can you imagine it? How much joy would that create? How many happier kids would that create? How many other people would be inspired by this cause? So I came to a decision that I need to let as many men and women into this cause as possible for the benefit of everyone. A cause that I call Freeing Minds. The good news, I simply cannot let price get in the way of you achieving your happiness and success goals, as well as helping me make a positive impact on the world. This means you will not be paying the retail value of £629 for Recover from Abuse today. Nowhere close to that. Cut that price in half and you're still not close. It's not even going to be £470. Today only, and only from this presentation, your total investment today in Recover from Abuse, including all of those bonuses valued at £329, is only one payment of just £147, or 3 payments of only £59. Have a look below this video right now. You should see a big orange button with the red words Register Now. Click on that yellow oval order button that says Register Now to lock in your discounted price today of only $147. Listen, don't decide right now. Take advantage of my Liberate Your Life Results Guarantee. Just try Recover from Abuse for a full 6 months. If you do not release the emotions that you expect, or you don't find it completely easy to use and you get the support you need, or you don't find the program totally opens up your mind to a whole new way of being, I'll refund every penny you invested today. And forget about hassles. I'll happily refund every penny because I'm committed to you getting results no matter what. Look below this video right now. You need to click on the yellow order button that says Register Now to ensure you receive Recover from Abuse along with those £329 worth of free bonuses right now for only $147. Join thousands of other Recover from Abuse success stories like Jackie and John. Jackie said, "When I do high self-therapy or Ho'oponopono, I feel calmer in situations that would really upset me in the past. Years ago, a friend told me she'd forgiven her abuser, and I wondered how on earth she could have done this when she was treated so badly. Now, I think I understand. It's amazing to know that forgiveness is possible. You can be released from your torment. It's great that you can be, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think I've kept myself a prisoner. With the tools you provide, I've released myself from prison." Then there's Michelle. Just look at her amazing results. What can I say? High self-therapy is a life changer. It removes emotional pain that seems unbearable, be it stress-related, trauma, brokenhearted, or any of the emotional messes we drown in. It's good to feel new emotions arise, heal the triggers, and eventually things affect you less and less. You detach from the pain, you're left feeling soothed, calm, relaxed, and ready to battle the world again. Without a doubt for me, high self-therapy is a lifesaver. As I tend to feel all my emotions very deeply, I now use it at least once every 2 weeks. And here's Claire. Before I used higher self therapy, I still experienced guilt and negative thoughts about what happened to me as a child. I used the higher self therapy audio where I let it all go. But the powerful bit for me was the Ho'oponopono, as I made my peace and disconnected with people in my past. And now I'm in a much better place. I felt after this experience I didn't have a grudge against anyone that I might have before. I truly felt no undesirable connection. Basically, I've changed. I've broken that cycle of abuse. That's what higher self therapy showed me. Plus, I've got one more surprise for you, and it's only valid if you act today before leaving this page. How about 6 months of group coaching calls, where you can get even more support from our team of highly trained associate coaches to help you get all of the benefits of the higher self-therapy technique so you can fully recover from abuse. And that brings your total value to over £911 yet today. By acting today and only on this page, you get it all. You get Recover from Abuse, higher self-therapy, plus the bonuses I covered earlier, plus the super bonus of 6 months of group coaching calls worth £282 from a measly $147. Now remember, you're not just getting an incredible discount today. You'll be joining the biggest, most effective abuse recovery movement in history, Freeing Minds. Plus, you'll join the ever-growing, supportive Recover from Abuse community. Not to mention the fact that you'll have a whole new group of abuse survivor and thriver friends that will help you progress, stay inspired, and have more fun along the road to success. So just click on the orange button that says register now and lock in your discounted price now. You'll be granted immediate access to everything in the Recover from Abuse forum and all the bonuses, plus your free super bonus of 6 months of group coaching, which alone is worth over £282 just for taking immediate action today. Here's what will happen the moment you click on that orange Register Now button below this video. First, you'll be taken to our 100% secure checkout page, which looks like this. All you need to do is fill in the information, then scroll down, and you need to choose whether you want to pay in full or whether you want to pay in those 3 payments of £59. Then, finally, you'll arrive at our secure members area, which will look like this. And here, if it's your first time here, you just need to follow the instructions to create your new account, and you'll get access to the forum. So you'll create your members only account to access your course materials, and then you'll get into the course, which will look like this. And if at any time you have any difficulties, our client happiness director will be only too happy to help her out. You can email her or call her. It's that simple. Now just remember, life is short and you've been struggling with your painful emotions from the past for too long. Unless you take action today, you run a grave risk of deeper levels of frustration, real anger, despair, and depression over not living the life you deserve, and continued shame and fear. Yet, simply by choosing to take action today and dive into my easy to start Recover from Abuse system, everything will change for the better. Picture right now the moment you finally have the answer you've been looking for as you begin your journey to emotional release, self-confidence, and total freedom. You feel alive, you're bursting with confidence, you're full of hope and optimism. Experience this today and every day after. You're experiencing the happiness, confidence you deserve at long last. Yes, it's true, your shame, your fear, your problems up until today has largely been no fault of your own. Yes, you've been told a pack of lies in the past about recovering from abuse and trauma from either crooks or well-intentioned but misinformed folks. And who can forget about those false promises other therapy experts made to you that never stood up to the light of day? Yet today is your day to claim your power and take responsibility, and to take the action you know is necessary today to put you on the track to real happiness, confidence, and success in life, relationships, using a system that simply works. Yet, unlike all those other phony solutions, this one is guaranteed to work for you. Try Recover from Abuse for a full 6 months on me and see the results you desire, or you pay nothing. Plus, you're always just minutes away from an answer from our friendly support staff. you too could experience something like John's amazing and very moving results. In 1971, my baby son died of natural causes in my arms. I found myself running on autopilot, registering the death, arranging for the funeral, and having to go back to work. 20 years later, I retrained as a hypnotherapist to complement the work I was doing in spiritual healing. During my training, the dam burst. I felt a lot of guilt around the death. The training enabled me to rationalize. Whilst the underlying grief was abated, the guilt was still there. After higher self therapy, I felt lighter. Now when I think about Mark, the guilt around his death has gone. Or take a look at results like Becky's. I'm realizing what powerful instruments higher self therapy and Ho'oponopono really are. There's definitely been a shift in my emotional sensitivity and ability to be clear in my conversations about what I want and expect from my relationships. I have finally released the fear around being true to myself. Freedom tastes sweet. Now, immediately after you buy today, you need to do this. Once you're in the forum where you can get all your course materials, then download the audio called How to Make Higher Self Therapy Work. Listen to this first alongside your Higher Self Therapy workbook, and you can get started right away on finding your triggers and releasing those painful emotions. Listening to this first with your workbook will guarantee you begin right where you need to start and get started on releasing your painful emotions today. Remember, along with the Higher Self Therapy audio where you can release your pain, you'll also be receiving the Recover from Abuse Quick Start Guide and workbook and audios where you'll discover all you need to know about how to stop attracting abusive relationships and situations and start creating a loving soulmate relationship and start building your confidence. Also, remember, the Higher Self Therapy audio is the proven emotional release process, and you get Ho'oponopono, the forgiveness technique. Plus, all the bonuses I mentioned earlier, those 7 extra mini programs, the Integrity of Energy DVD where you get to watch live of a whole release process, and the forum, and those 6 months of group coaching where any question you've got, any issue that comes up, you can get the support you need. There's a place there where you can get the answers you need. Listen, don't put this off a second longer, and let me tell you why. First, keep in mind that I've discounted Recover from Abuse by over £500, and I did it risk-free to you as it's guaranteed. Yet eventually I'm going to have to increase the price back up to retail where it deserves to be. So you must act now before I have to do that. It may be today, tomorrow, or even in a few weeks. Also, you do not want to feel left out if my super bonus of 6 months of group coaching caps out its membership quota. Only the first comers are guaranteed access to this, and everyone else will be out of luck. And let's remember, unless you take action now, today, you may never take action. You may do what so many others do and put it off, for a few more days, which turns into months or even years. Remember, your emotional pain won't go away on its own. Like a broken down car, time does not heal. It actually just makes it worse. Studies show this is also true of your emotional pain. So let's make sure you get what you really want. And make sure you do the only smart thing you can do. Take advantage of this limited time offer while you still can, and wisely get on the right path to a sane, simple, and savvy journey to recover from abuse using this simple, proven, step-by-step strategy today. So click on the orange register button below right now, and let's get you started today. If you're still watching, I guess you have some questions. So here are the most common questions I receive about Recover from Abuse and the answers to help you out. Here's the first. I've had my emotional problems for a long time. Can this really help? Yes, and here's why. Just because you've had your emotional problems for a long time doesn't mean it's going to take a long time to recover from them. This is actually another myth. I think about it like this. It took an instant for a stone to get in your shoe. Just because you've walked for miles with that stone, it only takes an instant to stop, take your shoe off, and remove the stone. Okay, and it's just the same with your emotions. They were actually installed in an instant. Just because you've been walking with that stone of emotional pain in your shoe for a long time, they can still, doesn't mean they can't be released. They can still be released in an instant. I'm still in therapy, counseling. Will this work? Will this conflict with my therapist? Well, I never ever say, stop what you're doing and only work with me. I leave that decision up to you. Here's my suggestion. If you've been in therapy and counseling for a long time and you haven't got the result, isn't it time you tried something new? Remember, it's guaranteed. Give it a go, okay? If it doesn't work, you get your money back. What have you got to lose? I'll never say that you have to not work with anyone else. Keep if your therapist and counselor is helping, absolutely keep working with them. This will be an addition, and it might even be the final thing that totally trips you into happiness and success. Another question I get is, I don't think I've been abused, but I still have lots of emotional problems. Will this work for me? Absolutely yes. Remember, it's not what happened, it's how you interpreted it. It's how it makes you feel. If you've got emotional problems, then this will definitely help. What if I don't feel my emotions, or if I don't want to feel them? Well, great question. Often people don't feel them because they don't want to feel them. So we can, in that group coaching program, in those group coaching calls, that's why we offer these, we can give you some extra strategies and techniques that will enable you to come into the present to feel your emotions. Also, in the workbook, we've got specific exercises that will help you pull up the emotion only for the purpose of releasing it. Okay, another question is, will I never ever feel any more emotion? No, of course you'll still feel emotion. This process releases pain from your past. What it does do is it means things aren't so intense in the future and in the present. Often the reason we feel things very intensely now is not because of what's happening now, but because of what's triggered in the past. So you'll feel emotion, but in a much more balanced and ecological and less sensitive way. It will be a much more manageable emotion. Will all the emotion go and be gone forever? And can I release it all once and be done for good? Great question. So first of all, it's entirely possible for you to release all of the emotion from the past in one listening through of higher self therapy. And what you are releasing is what you are conscious of. So what often happens is then you become conscious of more emotion from your past that you want to release. So you just get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. Also, releasing your emotions is like having a shower. You don't have a shower once and then you're clean for the rest of your life. So you might do this regularly so that you stay clean. Because guess what? You're still alive. Things are going to still happen to you, and we're going to have a release on that, and that will also continue to clear deeper things from your past. So now you just need to click on the yellow order button that says register now to ensure you receive Recover from Abuse along with all the free bonuses now. So just go and click on that register now button right now.